Assalamu alaikum, Jumu'ah Mubarakah everyone. I hope you are all doing great. So, if you remember, in a previous session, we dealt with a very important grammar item in English, which is the past simple so far. And if you remember, we said that the past simple is mainly used to talk about finished actions in the past. For example, yesterday, okay, which is the past. Yesterday, I went to my grandmother's house. Last week, I did something, okay, of course. Yes, last week, okay, was in the past, so I did something last week. Last week, I watched a football match, okay, I watched. And of course, regarding the endings or the changes that occur in this tense, they variate between just adding the ed ending or the ed final for regular verbs, like play becomes played, okay, watch watched, okay, or a complete change in the verb in the case of irregular verbs, like go becomes went, not as a lot of students still say I go, or okay, they make some lot of mistakes, okay, similar mistakes. And of course, I would like to seize this opportunity to remind students who haven't sent their homeworks yet regarding both irregular verbs and the book, okay, to do it, as I'm expecting to receive them as soon as possible. However, today we will shift, okay, towards another tense, important tense in English, which is the past continuous, okay, the past continuous. So this tense can be simply defined as a tense used, okay, to talk about an action which was in progress, okay, an action which was in progress in a specific period in the past. Okay, I know that it's a little bit complicated, this explanation, but okay, just understand these main items. So whenever you would like to talk about an action that happened in the past, but it was in progress in that specific moment. However, we'll simplify it, okay, by talking about a more simplified concept, okay, more familiar concept to most of the students, which is the present continuous. So let's say, okay, they are very similar concept. Past simple and present continuous, they are very, okay, close to each other. However, the only difference, okay, is present continuous. I'm talking about something, an action, okay, which is in progress in this moment, and however, regarding the past simple, I'm talking, okay, about an action which was in progress in that moment in the past. This is the only difference. For example, the present continuous. Let's give an example. At the moment, okay, of speaking, what am I doing now? I am explaining, okay, I am explaining. What if I ask you, what are you doing? This is the present, okay. Pay attention. This is the present continuous. What are you doing, okay, in this moment? You may say, I am listening to my teacher, or I am attending this class, okay. And of course, the present simple is formed by combining to be, or by the use of to be, the auxiliary to be, in the present simple, okay, which becomes I am, you are, she is, and etc. We are, they are. And so to be in the present plus the verb plus ing. Now, okay, we'll come back to our previous concept, which or previous talk about the past continuous, which is the same thing as we said, but the only change or the only difference is that the action, okay, was in progress in the past. So talking, for example, you say yesterday, as we said at the beginning, yesterday I went to my grandmother's house. This is the past in general. But if I would like to ask you about a specific moment, okay, this is why you said about specific moment or period of time. What were you, if you remember the set of questions that we were asking, okay, we're practicing on in the classroom. Yeah. You said that you went to your grandmom's house yesterday, but if I ask you, what were you doing yesterday at 3 p.m.? when you went to your grandmom's house, what were you doing exactly, okay, in that period of time, or at 3 p.m.? Here, okay, the answers variate, and of course, by not the use of, or by not using the past simple, by using the past continuous, then you say the answers, okay, will be as follow. For example, you say, yesterday at 3 p.m. I was watching television. Yesterday at 3 p.m. at that specific moment, I was doing this action which was in progress. Okay, I was helping my mom in the kitchen. Yesterday at 3 p.m. I was playing a football game or a football match. Okay, or I was reading a book. Okay, and of course the form. This is okay the simplest way that this tense can be explained in. So we'll just say that this tense is formed by the combination of to be in the past. However, this time, okay, to be in the past, which changes completely. So I was, okay, you were. Okay, you say to be in the past plus the verb plus ing. Okay, I hope you got the first concept. And now moving on to our second concept in this lesson, which is the combination between the past simple and the past continuous. Or in other words, how can these two tenses be combined together in one sentence? Of course, using the two conjunctions here, while and when. So by the end of this explanation, we are supposed to understand how to use when and while correctly. Of course, these two are conjunctions used to show the order of actions in the sentence. So we'll start with the first conjunction, which is when. Let's suppose here that we are having two actions. Okay, we are having an action that was, of course, two actions that happened. Both of them happened in the past. We are having the first action, okay, which was occurring in the past continuous. Okay, so this one was in the past continuous, and we have a second action. So the first action was happening, then a second action. Look here, the arrow falls down. Okay, then a second action, okay, occurred or interrupted the first action, which was in progress. So when this conjunction is generally used to talk about an action, this second action, okay, or an action that interrupted the first one. So whenever I use when at the beginning of any sentence, here I mean that this sentence or this action interrupted the first one. So here, look at the example here. When the phone rang. Okay, so here, this is the second action. I was here without using while, of course. We can use only one of the conjunctions. So when the phone rang, I was having a bath. Okay, so here I mean that I was having, or you can change the structure, of course. You can say I was having a bath, okay, which is the first action that started. So I was in the middle of having my bath when my phone rang. Okay, so I was having my bath, okay, which is the action one. Then I use when here, okay. I was enjoying my bath, okay, when, okay, my phone rang. So when the second action interrupted the past continuous. Otherwise, you can start with it saying when my phone rang, I was, okay, so I was in the middle of having my bath. Okay, so this is the simplest way that this conjunction can be explained in. Now moving on to while. However, while is always used to talk about the past continuous, or it always precedes the past continuous. So while here, suppose that I have two actions, okay, or two things. One action, okay, was happening or was occurring in the past continuous, and the other action or second action interrupted it in the middle. So here, by using while, I say, while, look here, while I was having my bath or a bath, the phone rang. Of course, without using when. Okay, so while I was having a bath, the phone rang. So I was in the middle. While is always used with the past continuous. The second action interrupted me. Okay, while I was having a bath, the telephone rang. And of course, as I said, only one conjunction can be used in the sentences. So I hope you understand this first concept. While having two actions, okay, first one action started or was or occurred first, okay, before the other. However, the second conjunction while is not only used, okay, to talk about an action, okay, which was in the middle, then another one interrupted it. This one can be used also to talk about two actions happening in the past, okay, but were occurring in the same time or simultaneously, we're going together. For example, look here, my mother was reading a novel, okay, and my father was listening to music. Here I would like to say that my mother was reading a novel and my father was listening to music. Both actions were going together, okay? There is no action which precedes the other one, okay? Here it is used, okay, only by the use of while, okay, and not when. Here, so I say my mother was reading a book, a novel, while my father was listening to music. Or you can start to use it at the beginning by saying, while my mother was reading a novel, my father was listening to music, which is the same thing in the story of Alice in Wonderland, if you remember. While Alice was sitting under the tree, her sister was reading a book, okay? While Alice was sitting under a tree, her sister was reading a book. However, if we would like to say while Alice was sitting under the tree, okay, so this is an action, then an action interrupted it, I use the past simple, not the past continuous. I say while Alice was under the tree, for example, an apple fell down, okay? While Alice was sitting under the tree, an apple fell down. Okay, so this is the use of, or the combination between the past and the past continuous and the past simple. Of course, we'll have an exercise here, okay, just to do, okay, to understand this concept more and more. Look at the exercise number 3, okay, page 71. Here, however, okay, we'll not stick to the same exercise as it is in the book, but we'll have some modifications on it. Here, what we are supposed to do, join the sentences in column A. Okay, we have sentences in column A, and we have to join them, okay, with sentences to column B. Of course, in order to get coherent sentences, okay. Here we will, however, modify it using, okay, the conjunctions, both conjunctions, when and while, okay, and of course, we are supposed to put them in the past simple. So make all or turn all these sentences into the past simple, then join them using both when and while, okay, and send them to me in order to correct them. Thank you so much.